Welcome back to the Expert Opinion. Me and Roman are here talking about who's the GOAT, greatest of all time in the NBA. I'm gonna pass it off to Roman, see what his first comments are.
All right. I mean, we're talking GOAT. There's really only one name, Michael Jordan. I mean, just the accomplishments he's done in his entire career. You know,
Shaq.
he's all Shaq. He
Is
was.
even in the conversation.
A few people think he is.
Shaq is a rim-busting babe. I mean,
Our producer off camera thinks that Shaq is the GOAT. I
Shaq
think
Fu, bro. He's
Shaq.
Shaq Fu.
Shaq Daddy?
Shaq Fu.
the big Aristotle.
You
No, but
share-
Michael Jordan.
Shaq and Fu.
Michael Jordan's
What-
definitely the
what?
GOAT. The accomplishments he's had, never lost in NBA Finals before. You know, he's only played so long. You know, he's had 3 retirements, which, I mean, it's a little overboard, but, you know, just the success he's been able to do, you know, and the numbers he's been able to put up, you know, consistently. I mean, you got to award the man. He's the greatest player to ever play the sport. You know, Angelo, passing off to you.
Interesting points. Definitely. Something to think about. Well, you know what they say. I'm gonna stay a little bit neutral here, but throw opposition at Roman. They asked a lot of NBA of the greats of all time. We're talking about, you know, all these people who were in the conversation. They did a poll of about like 20 GOATs of all time, you know, who have been like thrown into the conversation. And the name that popped up the most was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And what do you have to say? Kareem is like, you know what? Kareem is the best post scorer of all time. I think when you're the best post scorer of all time, you got to be thrown in the conversation. You know, who's got the most points in NBA history? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar led the Bucks to a championship, led them to another one, but lost it, and was with the Lakers for a while. So, I mean, what's your opposition on Kareem? Let's hear it.
Kareem is definitely. Kareem's my number 2, definitely. You know, at some points, you know, in my life, I'm thinking of putting him number 1. You know, it's a close battle between him and Jordan. But the thing is, though, you know, obviously both players are great, but Jordan didn't take a back seat until he was like late 30s with the Wizards those 2 years. He was the leader of his team from 1985 to 1998. Kareem, he was the leader of the Bucks and he was the leader of the early Lakers, but those early Lakers teams did not have much success. And, you know, he was able to succeed well in Milwaukee because he had some good players around him. For example, Oscar Robertson. You know, he was, I mean, he wasn't... I forgot some of the other names, but like he's like first player to average a triple double ever. You know, he was still a great player. They had other decent pieces around him, but Kareem did not experience much success on the Lakers until Magic Johnson arrived, and then you had James Worthy. Yeah, you know all those guys. You know, that big 3 right there. They were able to dominate. But Magic Johnson was the leader of that team. He was the leader of the Showtime Lakers. Scottie Pippen wasn't the leader of the '90s Bulls. Michael Jordan was.
He was like the Oscar Robertson.
You heard it here first, folks. But yeah, Kareem, he's definitely one of the greatest players. But Michael Jordan just gets that edge, you know? Because Michael Jordan, he's never lost the finals. You know, sure, he's lost in the Eastern Conference Finals a few times, lost earlier rounds, but he's never lost the finals. He's like on the biggest stage of basketball, he's never fell. Kareem has, I'm pretty sure, 1, 2, 3 times. You know, he first time with the Bucks in '74, and a few times with the Showtime dynasty against the Celtics. And I forgot the other team. I think it was like the Sixers that played him in like '82 or '83.
Not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was '83.
Not sure.
But you know, he has lost on the biggest stage in basketball. Michael Jordan, he just hasn't, and that's why I think Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time.
You know what? You had a lot of interesting points there, but you were wrong about some stuff because you said, you know, MJ's your GOAT. Sometimes you're thinking about Kareem being your GOAT. Other than that, he's your number 2. But you forgot about LeBron James. What does that even invincible. Hear this guy, folks? LeBron James. What?
Wait, who thinks that LeBron James?
What?
Does he think that LeBron James is a good?
Me? No, I just said Michael Jordan.
So LeBron James' skills are fading fast. Luckily,
Okay, boys. You know what?
What are you trying to
We're
figure
talking
out?
about
LeBron James.
we're talking about the greatest player in a generation. You know, he just year after year, he just
let me just
leads
state
a
my
team.
opinion. Let me just state.
You're expert.
Oh, shut up. Let me just state my expert opinion. LeBron James.
That's what he is. That's all he is.
LeBron James had one of his greatest seasons last year, for sure, almost leading his entire team to victory. The Lakers were able to pull out a win in the playoffs, and
He played for the Cavs last year.
I know the Lakers. No, I mean the Golden State Warriors were able to pull out a win in the. I'm sorry. I get the Lakers in the. Okay. Anyways, the Lakers saw. The difference is the Lakers saw. But anyway, LeBron James had one of his best seasons last year for sure. He had to carry the entire team of the Cavs as there was very little talent besides himself on the team. And now that he's gone, Cleveland has been left in shambles, and the team hardly makes top 10 at this point. And they're
What? Top 10? They're like the second worst team in the NBA.
Yeah, Cleveland. No, they're not
No,
second
the
worst.
third
Kings are-
worst.
Yeah.
My bad. Third worst.
Anyways, as I was saying, LeBron James has wherever he's gone,
Let me steal that.
No,
I need to,
want the mic.
let me say the opinion.
No, I'm
Anyways,
next, I'm
LeBron
next.
James.
No, I'll talk-
I got it stole from me.
LeBron James's skills are fading, and I don't think that he has many years longer in the NBA. I'd say 5 max, but those years aren't going to be spent unless he has some kind of change.
You know what, the Cleveland situation is literally an example of why he's the GOAT. When he was in Cleveland, he led that team to a championship, boys. Well, he didn't win it, but he led them to the finals. He leaves that team, they're the third worst team in the NBA. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
All
You
right.
throw MJ on that team, they are not as good as when LeBron was there, boys. To that.
Oh, give me that. Let's talk about LeBron in Cleveland. First of all, let's talk about his 28. Oh, we made it all the way to the finals. Which team did he face? He faced a young Pacers team that had very little experience. Faced a Toronto team.
Good now, though. Like they're
Yep, I'm talking about 2018.
Yeah, I know, but they're.
No, just
They were good in 2018.
they were decent. They were decent, but they were inexperienced. Then he faced the Raptors team, which continues to not show up in the playoffs, especially DeMar DeRozan. Then he faced a Celtics team who had 2 great players injured, one an all-star starter in Kyrie Irving, and then a solid player in Gordon Hayward. They were both out. All right, those are the teams he faced. He was completely dominated in that Golden State. Now, obviously, it's not going to be easy to go against, obviously that big 4, but. Last year they were able to steal a game away. And I was talking about this year, Cleveland, they've had a few injuries. Kevin Love has been out for a pretty majority of the season. He's their best player, right now. He's been out for a while. I mean, obviously the team is not that great, but a few other guys, maybe not the most important guys, like Mon Shumpert, but like still some decent role players left in free agency.
Decent role players? No. You guys are bench.
I'm not saying if you put MJ on that team, they're winning a finals. No, MJ had great players around him, but he was able to succeed with great players around him. All right.
J.R. Smith, yeah.
I'm talking about okay.
I'm still talking about Cleveland.
You can talk about Cleveland all you
Yeah,
want.
ball me. My turn now. My turn. A little change of pace here. Talking about championships. Bill Russell. I mean, there's not much to talk about other than his paint game. I mean, kind of goes to show he could grab the ball and after it hit the rim, called a rebound. Could do that.
Very good at that.
Score in the post. I mean,
He's decent in the post.
I mean,
He's another 20 points per game scorer for most of his career, though.
I wouldn't call him the GOAT. So that situation kind of goes downhill. Kobe Bryant, one of the vicious, greatness scorers of all time, if that's a word. The Black Mamba. You know, just an all-out beast, you know? I'll give him number 3 or some, 4. So I think we came to a conclusion here. I think we ended out with Shaq on top.
Shaq.
Kareem 2.
Jordan
think-
7.
I think Dirk Nowitzki was thrown in the conversation or
No, I
something.
really think Brian Scalabrine, though, really takes the cake.
J.R.
Ball, too.
Smith was definitely in there. We
Oh,
were
yeah,
talking
J.R.
about him. So
J.R. Smith's 3. I'll put him at 3.
Yeah,
behind
we'll give him
LeVar
3.
Scalabrine. Number 4, I gotta go with the master himself, Kwame Brown.
and number 5, who puts up just a tremendous battle, but we can't move him up any further. Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
That is.
Oh
That is our
man!
number
Oh
5.
man! That's our top 5 for you. That of the best, the goats of all time.
Comment below if we've missed anyone.
All time. You heard it here first, folks. You know what? Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later.